Welcome to Concept with Justin. Picture the patio as an intimate outdoor room carved from the rest of your yard or tucked beside the house. Visualize a vertical spine to anchor that room, one or two modest trees or large shrubs planted in carefully positioned beds or generous containers, a pleached hornbeam, a compact Japanese maple, a multi-stem olive, or a small stature mugo-type pine if you want evergreen structure. Their trunks rise like columns and their canopy sketches a dappled ceiling that calms direct sun and softens urban noise. Around that spine, imagine a mid-layer of evergreen shrubs and pleached standards that make a living backdrop, creating privacy without closing the space off. At ground level, see a mosaic of paving and living surfaces, warm stone or pale, permeable pavers for main walking and seating areas, interspersed with ground cover, thyme, sedum, or moss, between joints to soften the hard lines and cool the paving underfoot. The immediate benefit is microclimate control and spatial definition, canopy shade, mid-layer screening, and ground cover cooling together make the patio a restful, protected place that feels distinct from the rest of the yard. Now imagine the paving itself as a tactile foundation for daily life. Picture warm-toned, textured bluestone or light-colored limestone laid in generous joints that allow planting to peek through, or consider reclaimed brick laid in an informal pattern for a cozy, time-worn look. See permeable gravel in secondary zones and a strip of decomposed granite for softer walking where you might go barefoot. Visualize the gentle contrast: warm stone under the table, cool gravel underfoot near planters, and mossy seams that release a faint earthy scent after rain. The practical benefit is comfort and permeability. Materials chosen to stay cool, provide grip when wet, and allow rainfall to infiltrate rather than sheet away. turn your attention to the plant palette and the virtue of repetition. Envision choosing 2 or 3 principal species and repeating them in beds and pots, perhaps a compact evergreen for year-round punctuation, dwarf ilex, box or small bay, a fragrant shrub for scent and summer bloom, rosemary, Philadelphus, or dwarf lavender, and an airy grass for movement and sound, stipa, pennisetum, or festuca. Picture these repeated in groups so the eye reads rhythm rather than a scatter of singletons. Add a few accents: a bronze-leaved berberis, a sculptural agave in a sunny corner, or a small citrus in a glazed pot, as punctuation points that draw the eye and provide seasonal interest. The benefit is visual cohesion. Repetition organizes the composition and gives a small patio the scale and clarity of a designed room. Weave scent and tactility deliberately into key routes and seating zones. Imagine edging the main approach and the threshold with fragrant thyme or dwarf rosemary so each step releases aroma. Picture jasmine or mock orange trained close to seating to perfume warm evenings. See a cushion of lamb's ear or heuchera at knee height for soft tactile contrast. Think also of night-scented choices, nicotiana or evening stock near the table, so dusk becomes an olfactory event. The benefit is emotional. Scent and tactile richness anchor memory and ritual, making the patio not only a visual retreat but a place you want to inhabit, linger in, and remember. Place seating and activity with intention so the patio becomes an extension of how you live. Picture a dining table in a sun-moderated pocket, a built bench set into planting to create a private reading niche, and a low lounge chair in dappled shade for afternoon naps. Orient seating to capture specific micro-moments: morning sun for coffee, afternoon shade for work or rest, evening glow for dinner, and choose materials appropriate to your climate: teak or warm hardwood for cooler mornings, cool stone or lightweight aluminum for hotter climates, and quick-drying outdoor fabrics for cushions. Include small side tables, a low shelf for clippers, and a discreet storage bench for cushions. The benefit is functionality. Intentional layout makes the patio hospitable for dining, reading, socializing, and quiet solitude. Introduce water thoughtfully for sound and microclimate benefit. Visualize a modest bubbling urn tucked into planting, a shallow basin that reflects leaves and sky, or a recirculating tabletop fountain on the table itself. Picture the soft murmur masking distant traffic, creating a gentle acoustic foreground that calms conversation and hides urban noise. For larger budgets, imagine a longer, narrow channel of moving water along a planter edge. For small spaces, a simple bird bath or bowl is enough. The benefit is cooling an atmosphere. Moving water increases humidity slightly, lowers perceived temperature, soothes the ear, and attracts birds and beneficial insects. Layer lighting to extend the patio into evening and shape mood. Envision warm-toned, low-voltage uplights aimed at trunks and textured walls, soft fairy or festoon lights strung under an overhang to create a canopy of sparkle, recessed step lights for safety, and small embed spotlights that pick out seasonal blooms. Use photocell sensors or timers to automate lighting and choose warm LEDs to avoid harsh, blue light that disrupts wildlife and human circadian rhythms. The benefit is extended use and atmosphere. Carefully layered lighting allows the patio to be a calm, usable room after dark without glare or energy waste. Make resilience and low-effort maintenance central. Begin by mapping microclimates. Observe morning versus afternoon sun, prevailing wind, where rain accumulates, and which corners remain damp. Group plants by their water and light needs so irrigation can be zoned. Drought-tolerant Mediterranean species, lavender, rosemary, oyster, in the sunniest spots, and moisture-loving ferns, astilbe, or heuchera in shaded niches. Install drip irrigation beneath mulch and use self-watering containers for larger pots. Place a moisture meter to calibrate your watering schedule initially. Top dress beds with compost and keep a 50 to 75 mm mulch layer to reduce evaporation and suppress weeds. The benefit is longevity and low labor. Plant choices and smart irrigation reduce the need for constant attention while keeping the oasis lush. Link the elements so each decision reinforces the next. The canopy creates shade that informs understory selection. Repeated plant groups simplify the irrigation zoning and visual rhythm. Scent plants near seeding invite lingering. Seeding placement determines where lines and hardscape robustness, and water features moderate temperature and attract wildlife. Thinking holistically prevents ad hoc additions that would break the cohesive, calming feel. Consider materials carefully to enhance microclimate and comfort. Use light-toned, permeable paving to avoid heat islands. Introduce decomposed granite or pea gravel in secondary zones for softer footsteps and sound absorption. Choose reclaimed timber for planters and seating to add warmth and patina. Opt for fabrics designed for exterior use. Quick-draining foam cushions and UV-stable covers, so furniture stays comfortable and low maintenance. The benefit is comfort and durability. Proper materials improve tactile pleasure and reduce repair cycles. think through plant functions and scale. For structure and screening, use compact evergreens, dwarf ilex, small laurels, or clipped box. For scent and seasonality, choose Philadelphus, rosemary, dwarf citrus, where climate allows, or flowering salvias. For texture and movement, choose fine grasses like Stipa tenuissima or Festuca glauca, and for ground-level softness, select thyme, sedum, or low geraniums. Include pollinator-friendly perennials, echinacea, nepeta, and guara to keep bees and butterflies coming. For vertical interests, train a jasmine or small clematis on a trellis or pergola. The benefit is layered interest, combining structure, scent, movement, and seasonality yields a patio that rewards you across months and years. Add biodiversity features intentionally. Place a shallow birdbath or dripper where birds can drink safely. Tuck a log pile behind a shrub to shelter beneficial insects and amphibians. Provide flat stones that warm in sun for insect basking, and plant native species where practical to support local fauna. Avoid broad-spectrum pesticides. Prefer manual removal of pests, sticky traps, or targeted biological controls. The benefit is resilience and delight. Wildlife activity animates the space and contributes to plant health through pollination and natural pest balance. Adopt practical maintenance rhythms that prevent overwhelm. Commit to a weekly 30 to 45-minute tidy up, sweeping the paving, deadheading perennials, checking irrigation lines, and wiping leaves from the fountain. Schedule seasonal tasks, spring pruning and repotting, summer irrigation checks, autumn mulch replenishment, and winter protection for tender specimens, rather than letting everything accumulate. Keep a compact tool kit and a simple maintenance calendar near the patio so small tasks become quick. The benefit is sustainable beauty. Regular small actions preserve the calm you designed the patio to create. Consider accessibility and comfort details. Ensure clear circulation of at least 900 to 1,200 mm for comfortable passage. Avoid abrupt level changes near seating, and choose non-slip paving with gentle transitions between surfaces. Provide shade that can be adjusted, retractable awnings, shade sails, or freestanding parasols, to adapt to changing sun angles and preferences. Add handrails or shallow steps with consistent heights if levels change. The benefit is inclusive comfort. An accessible patio invites all household members and guests to linger. Personalize with human-scale touches that make the space feel loved. A small potting shelf for jars and clippers, a hook for a lightweight watering can, a woven basket for blankets, or a ledge for cut stems turns occasional use into habit. Frame the entrance with a pair of matching glazed pots whose seasonal planting you rotate, citrus or small conifers in winter, geraniums and pelargoniums in summer, to keep the display fresh. Add a simple sculpture or a bowl that collects rain and mirrors sky and canopy. The benefit is intimacy and ritual. These touches convert a well-designed patio into a lived and living room. Plan for seasonal choreography and long-term evolution. Underplant shrubs with bulbs such as narcissus, alliums, and crocus for early spring color. Rely on mid-season shrubs and bulbs for late spring interest. Let perennials like salvias, echinacea, and nepeta carry through summer. Celebrate grasses and sea heads in autumn, and keep evergreen structure and lighting to hold form in winter. Photograph the patio each season to learn how light and growth change use and microclimate. The benefit is continuous delight. A sequence of well-chosen plants makes the patio rewarding year-round. Phase the project for manageability. Begin with the structure, primary paving, major containers or beds, and the vertical spine. Allow a season to observe microclimates and how you use the patio, then add mid-layer shrubs and repeat plant groups. In subsequent seasons, plant perennials and bulbs, and finally add lighting, furniture, and finishing elements. Use temporary pots for quick impact while beds establish. The benefit is flexibility and cost control. Phasing spreads effort and allows informed adjustments. As the garden matures, practice observation and small experiments. Photograph the patio each season, note which pots dry out fastest, which corners attract birds, and which plants need replacing or moving. Try one new plant each year to test the color, fragrance, or texture, and observe how it integrates. Gradual change ensures the oasis remains dynamic without losing its ordered calm. The benefit is learning and delight. Small, iterative edits keep the patio responsive and alive.